he set the tone. Tell me, what are the things that you have an issue with Stephanie? I need to know 3 things. We're not going to do any more. He basically used this little graph, very simple form. It's in your handout. And he said, we're going to cover no more than 3 things. And I need you to tell me. So what I found out is that as he was talking with me, he was talking with her. She was able to tell him what it was that bothered her about me. Okay. And so she basically told him, when coming into meetings, I need Maurice to help us make the meetings more effective, more professional, and move things forward. That's my challenge with Maurice. The second thing about Maurice is that Maurice takes ideas and assistance from others. He uses them, but then he takes all the credit. Okay. And number 3, he does an incredible work. He does lots of it, but more often than not, he is late with deadlines and holds projects up, especially those that he likes. So would you guys have a problem with Maurice if Maurice handled things that way and you had to work that close with Maurice? How long do you think she was sitting on this stuff, and how long do you think this stuff was bothering her?
The whole time she was working with you.
Yeah. And how many times do you think she tried to talk to me about these things?
She probably didn't. Probably held it in.
She might have tried a couple times.
Yeah, I can honestly say that she tried. And I tried to tell her some of the things that I had about her. How long do you think it took James to get this out of her head in this manner? First of all, can you guys tell that it's professionally written? Can you guys tell that it's positive and yet to the point? All right, so how long do you think it took him to get this out of her brain? And how long do you think it took him to get my 3 issues about her out of my brain?
Not long at all.
Yes and no. What came out of our brain was a lot of anger, frustration, commentary, stories, yada, yada. But it took at least a week to 2 weeks for us to calm all that down and put it in a nice, professionally sounding explanation of what the challenge or what the problem is. Then he said, all right, Maurice, all right, Stephanie, what do you want to do about it? What do you want to see happen? What do you want Maurice to change? What do you want Maurice to do? What do you want Maurice to start, to stop, or what? What is it that you want to see happen? And she basically said this: I want him to chit chat for the first few minutes of the meetings. That's it, just for the first few minutes. We don't need to chit chat for 20 minutes when it's an hour and a half meeting, okay? I need him to stay connected the whole time. When Maurice is talking about things that he likes, he's connected. When it's things that he didn't come up with or that he can't get the credit for, he disconnects. And that disconnect can be the phone, or he starts doodling, or he starts staring, he gets quiet, but it's obvious he is not in the meeting the whole time. He disconnects fast and a lot. And then finally, don't look for comic relief when it's a serious moment. When things are being discussed in meetings and we're having a difficult conversation and we need to create that silence of accountability, we need Maurice to stop finding humor and relief valves. And he needs to stop saving others. If Daniel is being held accountable of why he's late, we don't need Maurice's comic relief to distract the fact that he interrupted a situation that needs to be held accountable and needs to be more serious in serious discussion. Ooh, man, how long do you think she's been holding that in? Okay. But here's the tactic. He was getting it out of her head first in a succinct way so that it could be communicated. All right, then let's go to the next one. What do you want to see about this? I need Maurice to acknowledge the assistance of others and not make everything about himself. Okay, he needs to acknowledge his peers that helped him, and he needs to acknowledge when his team does well. Okay, he said, okay, that's succinct. That's pretty good. And then I need Maurice to meet his deadlines on the things he agrees to do on time. Do not make us have to ask him all the time, where are we with Maurice? Maurice has a very unique time management style. He waits for others to get upset, and that's when he puts urgency on things, as opposed to he agrees to have it by Thursday, and that's not enough urgency. He wants to wait till Friday, get people upset, and then he'll have it for Monday. And that's fantastic work, but that's got to stop. We're not his babysitters, and so he said, okay, but all that commentary that you made about being his babysitters, that I do not want to hear that you brought that into the conversation. Those are judgment calls. Those are opinions. Those are very loaded, Stephanie. And up until the point where you said your statement, you just need to stop right there and don't make commentary around your very clear statement. And then he practiced with her. Okay. And she said, I want you to explain to me, pretend I'm Maurice. You're going to come talk to me. And I want you to talk to me and tell me these things. You have no more than 6 minutes. And I need you to do this calmly. Start. And he made her practice with him. And he made me practice practice with him. And when he felt, okay, I see that you have emotional control. Now here's the $64,000 question. Stephanie, would you like me in that meeting with Maurice, or do you want to try this on your own? I'm fine if I'm in there, but it sure would be a whole lot better if you guys can use this and do it yourselves without me being involved. But I'm comfortable that with me, you've practiced and you can go resolve the conflict. In the meantime, James was doing this with me about the things that were bothering me about her. Do y'all see the power of this? The issue that he needs to see, that he wanted to see, is this. Maurice may be doing these things, but does Stephanie have the emotional control to go address a conflict without bringing all the Stephanie with her? Is her approach contributing to this, or can she calm it down and create resolution by addressing these things? Now, whether Maurice can respond, that we'll see, that's yet to be seen. Okay. But can I see if Stephanie can do this? Because my problem may be Stephanie. I mean, obviously, if Maurice is doing these things, I didn't realize Maurice was doing all these things. Okay. Now I know. Okay. But yeah, I need to address this. These are bad behaviors that Maurice is showing. But can Stephanie approach conflict without bringing all the Stephanie-ness that I know exists? And can she be a problem solver? And that's what he needed to see from both Stephanie and Maurice. Can they come together in a resolving type of demeanor and come together? So she was ready to come talk to me, right? And then James did, I think, was a very helpful thing. He says, all right, let me share with you what she is going to talk to you about. And she did. He did. He told me those three things. And he said this. He said, do not give me an answer. Do not explain anything to me. Just tell me this. Are you doing these things? Okay. And I'm doing everything possible, y'all, to just try to, and he would not let me give excuse. Yeah, but hold on. Are you doing these things? Okay, but you see, Maurice, really, I just need to know. Are you doing these things? I said, yes, I'm doing these things. Okay, well then Stephanie is going to be probably one of your greatest resources. She's going to come and tell you. Your peer is going to come and tell you what you need to hear. And you need to be humble that yes, you are doing these things. There's probably a backstory, and we'll get to that. But right now, I need you to show her humility, because if that's what you're doing, those behaviors need to stop. But it's not going to be me telling you that. It's going to be your peer, because I need you guys to learn how to resolve conflict with each other. Okay. Can you do that? I said, yeah, I don't think I can, but I'll try. Okay. And he prepped it as well. And so she came in very graciously, and we had the conversation. But these are the steps that he instructed me to do. When she is talking, you're listening and you're taking notes. Okay. As she's talking, you need to ask clarifying questions. Stephanie, so do you feel that this happens a lot? Has this been happening a lot? Do you notice that? Can you give me a couple of examples why you feel that I'm late all the time? Can you okay. I see. Okay. All right. So would you say that when I use comic relief, is it comic relief because I'm intense? And she's like, yeah, Maurice, you don't like silence. And when we're holding folks accountable, that's when you use it. You're trying to rescue yourself, or you're trying to rescue others. Okay. All right. And so, all right, let me repeat this back to you, Stephanie. Okay. What you're saying is, and then I would repeat it back to her in such a way to where she can say, yes, that's what I'm saying. And James had given me guidelines. Maurice, you need to get to step number 4 in less than 10 minutes from when she starts talking. If you don't help the conversation get to step 4, then you're not helping to resolve this conflict. Okay. And I'm going to hold you responsible if you do not help Stephanie get to step 4, because you have to contribute. You can't just sit there and go, okay. All right. Okay. I hear you. That is not, so I need to see that you are jumping in and you're listening. So Maurice, you got 10 minutes to get there. What am I not allowing you to do in those first 10 minutes? Now I'm asking John, what do you think he said at that point? He said, Maurice, what am I not allowing you to do in this first conversation with her? Anybody want to take a guess? Hey, everybody, great job making it through this. Go to the next module. Let's get moving to the next levels. Good luck. And again, thank you for joining the program. Honored to help you.